The big story that we are telling you this week, which is about Russia and China. In the coal-contested waters of the Sea of Japan, two nuclear armed powers are rehearsing the future of warfare below the surface. There are anti-submarine strikes, there are amphibious assault simulations, even submarine rescue, all played out just miles from US allies and critical sea lanes, all while US submarines quietly reposition in response. It's strategic messaging aimed at Washington, Tokyo, and far beyond. What really is happening and what were these drills all about? This report has all those details for you.
In Maritime Interaction 2025, Russian and Chinese warships turned the Sea of Japan into a strategic rehearsal stage. What started as quiet harbour activity exploded into a 5-day show of force, above, on and beneath the waterline. 11 warships and submarines from both navies simulated high-stakes combat, from tracking enemy subs to gunning down amphibious assault ships, to deep-sea rescue ops that mirrored real-world emergencies. In a standout maneuver, a Russian IL-38 and a Chinese Y-8 aircraft located and destroyed a mock submarine in synchronized anti-submarine warfare. Meanwhile, amphibious landing ships were targeted in live-fire exercises. Below the waves, China's CNS Shihu deployed its LR-7 rescue sub to dock with a simulated sunken Russian sub, showcasing advanced emergency coordination. Russia's Volkhov and China's Great Wall 210 submarines swapped roles in joint rescue drills, signaling deeper operational trust and shared subsurface doctrine. But drills weren't confined to Russian waters. Planned destroyers and surveillance ships were sighted near Okinawa and the Philippine Sea, closely tailed by Japanese and US assets. And as Beijing and Moscow were gearing up to flex their naval muscles, US President Donald Trump ordered 2 American nuclear submarines into undisclosed appropriate regions, a powerful message in return. The Pacific is getting crowded. Bureau Report, NDTV World.
Viewers, we now tell you the changing dynamics as far as the Indo-Pacific is concerned. These drills have happened. What does this mean? Who has the edge? We tell you that. First up, there's now a dual command in terms of Russia and China leading these joint military operations. They've done this before. There is a messaging here, which is what we are talking about. Let's tell you now in terms of the edge as far as submarine is concerned. Next up, the drills show rising undersea warfare capabilities. Just how much in the Indo-Pacific will these submarine edge by either of the two sides really dictate the future conflict, and the nature of the outcome is something that we're going to decode for you in detail. Next up, provocation moves. Now, Russian and Chinese ships have approached Japanese waters deliberately. This isn't the first time. China has been doing this for the last 15 years. Provocation after provocation, and even during these drills that have happened, they are meant to send a message to at least half a dozen countries in that entire region, Japan being just one of them. Japan is also important because Japan is an ally of America. Next up, Japan has in fact reacted. Tokyo tracks and shadows advancing fleets. Now, this is something that's very important for Japan to do. It has been doing so for a while, and every time any enemy ship or any foreign entity enters Japanese waters, then there is a SOP that kicks in, and that SOP is likely to be tested more going forward after the drills and the provocation that Russia and China are really sending out. Next up, the allies have responded. US, UK, Japan, South Korea, they are set to launch their counter naval drills. Indo-Pacific is now the epicenter of any potential conflict that will take place in waters. The maritime conflict will happen in Indo-Pacific, which is why you have US and its allies set to react to this, react to the provocative drills that Russia and China put out. And lastly, waters that are contested. Indo-Pacific sea is no longer open. We've been saying that now. We've heard that. Unclosed verdict that came out, which granted Scarborough Shoal to Philippines. All that was completely rejected by China, and nobody could do a thing, which is why these drills are meant to send out a message, viewers. All right, as far as the blinkers off is concerned in this, Russia and China's joint naval drills in the Sea of Japan are no small fish story, viewers. Beneath the surface, these two powerhouses are sending a message that's loud and clear, that Indo-Pacific is their new chessboard, and they're moving pawns with deadly precision. It's a rehearsal for any potential real conflict. China has been preparing this now for almost a decade, and all its countries, there are about a dozen odd countries that share its naval boundaries with China, all of them, that includes most of ASEAN, are aware of that. Now, this rehearsal is played out in the shadow of US allies in vital shipping lanes. About 40% of the world's cargo actually goes via these contested waters. These are contested because China claims and lays claim over all of it. And now with Russia and China conducting those drills, the timing says it all. Russia and China are testing Washington's resolve. When Moscow and Beijing sink their teeth into joint subsurface doctrine, it signals a deepening partnership that could tip the scales in these contested waters. Meanwhile, American response, quietly but firmly deploying nuclear submarines to undisclosed waters, is a reminder that the games are far from over. Donald Trump may think that he's only going to look inward-looking and going to retreat from all other potential conflicts or other important areas in the world. He cannot do so. His machinery knows that he cannot do so. The Pacific, which was once a vast and open area, is now fast becoming a crowded, tense arena where every move counts. Tokyo's watchful eyes and allies' naval counter drills show that no one is willing to let sleeping dogs lie. The Indo-Pacific is a powder keg, and these drills are the sparks that are flying in a rapidly shifting balance of power. In the end, the question isn't just who controls the seas, but who controls the narrative of peace or provokes the next wave of conflict.